4 years living here in Uvita, Costa Rica. Are there things I would have done differently had I known what I know now? Stay tuned to this episode of Costa Rica Story because that's just what we're going to talk about. Hey there and welcome to Costa Rica Story. And if you're new here, my name is Ed. I make videos about Costa Rica and my life here in Costa Rica. And if you're a regular, my name still is Ed and you know what I do. So what are some things that I may have done differently had I known what I've learned in my 4 years here in Costa Rica? Are there things I would have done differently? If I had it to do over again, what I'd do differently? And is often the case, I mentioned before, I make videos about Costa Rica and my life here in Costa Rica. And sometimes it's more about my life here in Costa Rica, and it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Costa Rica, but they're lessons that I've learned here in Costa Rica. Costa Rica it's given me the opportunity to learn a lot of things about myself, just a lot of things about other people, a lot of things about life in general. So, if you're one of these people that goes, oh, well, that list has got nothing to do about Costa Rica. Wah. Sorry, buddy. It's not always just about Costa Rica. So this is a list of 11 things. Number one, I would have started learning Spanish much earlier in my life. And I mentioned this many, many times here. Speaking Spanish is something that really will help you here in your life in Costa Rica. And the sooner you get on that, the better off you are. And the lessons continue even when you're here. And again, I'm preaching to myself. You need to spend the time to learn Spanish because it really can broaden your horizons. And I'm making progress little by little. And when I get encouragement from my Costa Rican friends, they tell me, they can understand me better and what a long way I've come in the time that since I moved here. So that makes me feel great when I hear that. That's one of the little victories you get along the way. Number two, I would have started downsizing my life back in upstate New York a lot sooner. And these kind of things take a long time. If you're moving your whole existence from one country to another country, it takes a long time to get things done. You have things that you got to sell some things, you got to give away things, you got to get your things in order. It takes a long time, much longer than you think. And then it puts a lot of pressure on you when you've got a short amount of time. And you may think, like, for example, like a year is a long time for doing something like that. It's not. I probably had about a year and a half when I started thinking about this, where I could start when I knew I needed to downsize. And it takes a long time, and you get that little sense of urgency right before you leave. If you haven't got everything done, it just adds stress because you've got the stress back in your home country, then you've got the stress of moving to the new country. Eliminate as much stress in your original country as possible before you leave. It makes it a lot easier. You don't have these ends to tie up. So definitely get your downsizing done sooner than you think you need it done. Start it sooner than you think. Number three, I would have done a lot more exploring in other parts of Costa Rica. Because when I first got here, I had more time and I had more money to go exploring. Now I'm here and I'm in the YouTube channel mode producing, and my funds are very, I don't have a lot of discretionary funds, we'll put it that way. So I don't have the money to go off exploring like I could have when I first got here. So that's one thing I definitely would have done differently. I would have done some more exploring when I first got here. Hopefully when I get things going more smoothly here and I have more money, I'll be able to do more exploring. That's on the bucket list. That's on the bucket list of things to do. Number five, I'm going to keep this one short, but I would have spent less time on a few relationships and friendships that really weren't going anywhere, a little bit toxic. I don't know why I stayed in them, but I would have moved on sooner, knowing what I know now. That's always easy, right? Number six, I would have pushed myself harder to eat more different foods. And I'm still working on that. As you see in videos all the time, I'm always talking about how crappy I eat, the processed food I eat, and my aversion to new foods. It's a struggle with me, but it's an ongoing struggle. I haven't given up. I'm still working on this. Number 7, I would have started going to the gym sooner, knowing what I know now, because going to the gym is such an important part of my day. I go very early in the morning. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. It's good for you physically, but it's even better for you mentally. And I wish I had started that process sooner. I would have done it sooner had I known what I know now. This is the longest I've actually gone to the gym. I mean, the longest amount of time I've been committed to the gym. I'm over a year now, so that's longer than I've ever done it. Number 8, I would have got a more heavy-duty car. And my Vitara is great. It's served me well, but it isn't as durable as like a Toyota 4Runner or some of these bigger cars with higher clearance and beefier suspensions. But when you're living here in Costa Rica, a beefy 4-wheel drive car is definitely an asset. And I would highly recommend never moving here and buying a car that's not 4x4 unless you're living in the city or something. Number 9, I would have cared less about other people's opinions. And this applies to moving to Costa Rica. You get a little bit of feedback from people back in your home country. Friends, family have different opinions. But for me, the biggest way this applies is in the YouTube comments. And when I first started and I got a few negative comments, I took them to heart, even though I knew I shouldn't. But over time, you realize that when people are making negative comments like that, it's saying more about themselves than you. So I guess that was one benefit of having the YouTube channel for 4 or 5 years here, is that I wouldn't say it's developing a thick skin, but it's just developing an understanding of human nature. I actually find it pretty fascinating sometimes reading the comments. Number 10, I would have done more volunteering here. And this is an ongoing thing. I still have the opportunity to do more volunteering, but things like, there's so many things you can do here. Like, I love doing beach cleanups. I would love to get involved with the people at Playa Tortuga with the turtle releases. There's just a lot of things you can do here. I've been involved with the local disaster relief. I've done a few things with them. But there's a lot of volunteer things you can do. Like right now, my time is limited because I work all the time, but I would definitely try to do more volunteering. Number 11, I would have made more money back in the States before I moved here. And that goes back to when I first started working in my teens. I wish I was more financially literate and had more money saved, all this stuff that your parents tell you about but you really don't do. And I see people come here that have all that stuff. Most of my clients that come here, they've got their nest egg, they've got savings, they've got pensions, they've got this, they've got that. I'm here, I got nada. I got all I have is what I'm making here. Serving you when you come here to do the Uvita Day Adventure, and coming here and doing the in-person meetup, and using some of the people that I can refer you to, the rental car company, the tours for coffee, the tours for whales, the ATV tours. Contact me and I can hook you up with that. It's not going to cost you any more money, but you'll know it's a reputable company because I recommend it. I put my reputation on it. So that helps me, it'll help you, and it helps my friends with these companies. So if you're in Uvita and you'd like to do the Uvita Day Adventure, just go to uvitaday.com for more information. There's a plethora of things we can do. We can go to the whale tail at low tide. We can go to Playa Ventanas, explore the sea caves. We can go to the Uvita waterfall. We can go to the farmer's market. We can look at property. There's a ton of things we can do. It's pretty much limitless. I've got a list of suggestions there at uvitaday.com, so check that out for more information. And if you're in town and you'd like to do the in-person meetup, that's another great way to help support the channel. Go to uvitaday.com for more information about that. And don't forget, it's never too late to do the Uvita Day Adventure. If you're in Costa Rica and you're looking for something to do, drop me a line. About half of my clients are last-minute bookings. Of course, it's always better to book ahead of time, but give me a shout out, drop me a message. Maybe we can make our schedules work together, make something happen. Go to uvitaday.com for more information on that. And what's that you say? You don't know what the Uvita Day Adventure is? Well, you better watch this video.
I just love this.
So are you ready? Are you ready to come to Uvita and do the Uvita Day Adventure with me? I really love showing people my world, living vicariously through their adventures here. We can hit a lot of the popular attractions, so you never really know who's going to drop in on the Uvita Day Adventure. And it's definitely a good way to get in touch with your inner child. And if you want, we can even get off the beaten path. A coffee tour with mi amigo Dainair. Maybe we'll find some wildlife to photograph. Visit to the farmer's market, making some new friends. A refreshing swim in a beautiful swimming hole. And if you go on a coffee tour, I have to warn you, Dainair might put you to work. But there's a lot to see, and there's a lot to do. Make new friends, see some cool things, make some memories. The Uvita Day Adventure. Go to uvitaday.com for more information. Hopping into a beautiful swimming hole. Another thing we can do on the Uvita Day Adventure. But that's all I've got for this edition of Costa Rica Story. Make sure you like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, but most importantly, share this video and this channel with a friend. Hasta luego.